don't see that changing whatsoever. Boy, you would think I ain't broadcasting right now. Niggas giving me instructions and shit. We close. Close on what? Okay. Oh shit. Oh shit. I like that. Corey said I ain't gonna text it in the comment section. Just see the picture so you can realize you better start talking about my quarterback coach. Hey, so we got Willie Wick right now. Mike linebacker, signal caller, 6 foot, 231 pounds. He got the size for a linebacker for sure. Alabama is in a race to beat him, and it looks like it's going to be an Alabama situation. Them and Clemson back to back battling right now. They're locked in a recruiting battle. Alabama and Clemson. Here, the Alabama is in every 5 stars, top five, top three that I've shown that's available right now. Not the guys that verbally committed, the guys that are available that haven't committed or made a decision yet. Alabama seems like they're in the mix for all of them. They already got 9 5 stars verbally committed, man. What's going on with that program?
It's the Nick Saban effect. Alabama's still Alabama. It's always going to be a top-notch SEC school, regardless of who the head coach actually is. I think it just comes down to tradition.
And then the other thing is this, though. These 5 stars, when they come in on their recruiting visits, Nick Saban is still a big part of it, right? Like we've seen them in pictures with Nick Saban. I think that's a cheat code, man. I think they cheating. There's no way. Tell Saban if you retire to stay the fuck away from the program, cuz he's taking all the 5 stars. All right, we're looking at the number 18th player in the nation.
Money talk.
Uh,
Outfield.
6'6", 197 pounds. Hit it reminds you of Double R when you had Ohio State bringing those type of guys in, huh?
Yep.
6'6", 197. Deshaun Vitek. Looks like from St. Louis, Missouri. It looks like he's on his way to Ohio State. Now, Alabama and Missouri are battling for him, but it looks like Ohio State has this thing locked in. I think we're looking at an next advance will tell us everything we need to know about the 6'6" freak. This guy is not only 6'6", he's a demon at receiver. Like, he's been a demon since his since his freshman year in high school. He's been a demon. This guy started getting scholarships in the 8th grade. When you got a guy like that, you got a guy. We're looking at our first athlete, Hakeem Nadoui. Nadoui, number 19. He's from Marietta, Georgia, and he is verbally committed to the Auburn Tigers. Power rusher, 6'3", 300 pounds. Guy play on both sides of the ball, offensive and defensive. I think this is a big get for the Auburn Tigers. I think Auburn Tigers is in the mix. They do got 3 verbally commits from 5 stars right now, so they are in the mix. Number 1 corner, Tayali Ayatui from Corona, California, 5'11", 189 pounds, bump and run specialist, Alabama, verbally committed. Looks like he's taking his talent to Tuscaloosa. Tyler Leo, thumper, 6'1", 238-pound middle linebacker. LSU looks like they pulled away from Texas A&M and Texas Tech. Now he is a Texas native, and and I thought he was wanting to stay in Texas, but it comes to find out LSU was able to go in their backyard and look like they about to pull the wool over their heads over there in Texas right now, man. 22, Conrad Carden, wide receiver, 5'11", 180-pound, elusive route runner from out of St. Francisville, Louisiana. Alabama, verbally committed. Again, Bama got 9 in the building, so they doing their thing. All right, Vincent Raymond, wide receiver. He's the 7th receiver in the nation, 6'6", 206 pounds. Look like the Gators, Alabama, and Auburn are fighting for the Navarre, Florida product right now. Can Auburn or Alabama pull him out of the state of Florida? What do you think, Hitter?
There's always hope. It's always a chance.
But you know DJ Lagway is in Florida right now, man. When you looking for a team, most receivers are gonna want to go somewhere where a quarterback is gonna be there for a little bit, right? Alabama has Keelan Russell. Florida has DJ Lagway, and not for nothing, Auburn does have Deuce Knight waiting in the rings right now. So if you're a freshman coming in, you do got a young quarterback you can grow with. But I do think Florida and Alabama is going to really battle this one out. Looked like Alabama had the early advance, but then Florida jumped on top of them. So we'll see how that plays out coming down the stretch. Auburn has the number 24 five-star Devontae Figures, running back, 5'11", 196-pound, elusive bruiser, right? Looks like Kennan, Mississippi, and looks like Auburn locked that in. Alabama, North Carolina, Michigan State, and Texas was the top five, but it looks like Auburn stole one from Alabama. The 25th player in the nation is a running back as well, Frederick Terrell. He's not committed to anybody right now, but it looks like the University of Kentucky and South Carolina are battling head-to-head right now in a recruiting battle for the 5'11", 202-pound contact seeker from out of Dillon, South Carolina. Here, this guy's averaging 6.5 yards a carry. He's a break tackle machine, right? This kid comes out of his last 6 football games with 11 broke tackles, averaging 6.5 a carry right now. What is Kentucky getting with the contact seeker?
I getting basically a bowling ball. 5'11", 202. He likes to contact. He might be a Marshawn Lynch type of running back, to tell you the truth.
That was about to be my player comp. I was just about to say that, Marshawn Lynch. And I do think when he get to Auburn, you freshman 15, I think when he hit that weight program, it's going to put more weight on him. I could see this guy playing at like 220 and just being one of those guys. And then the one good thing about him is that if he could put the weight on to build his body, no diddy, and not lose the speed, because he's already a 4 or 5 guy, right? Can he get faster with the weight trainer and all that stuff, or will he, get slower by putting the weight on? We're gonna find out. But right now, a 4.54 guy, has got enough speed to get shit done. Number 26, the wide receiver, Gritty Possession, right? Out of Canton, Mississippi, 6'5", 198-pound tree. What's up with the receivers in this class right now? I'm seeing nothing but 6'5", 6'6", 6'3", 6'2". God damn. My question is this: are they 5 stars because of their size, or are they 5 stars because of the talent?
I think it's a mixture. They building them different in this generation. That 6'5", 198 frame, that's telling you that he's tall and lanky. So he got a lot of speed, and I wouldn't call it elusiveness, but he's hard to tackle because of his frame.
They played their first game on ESPN, and he had a catch that was over 3 defenders. That was one of those dan-dan-dat. I mean, they getting a guy right here, right? You could put the weight on him a little bit, 6'5". I mean, if this guy get to 200 plus, you might be looking at a tight end. I mean, he's physical at 198, and he does a lot of blocking, and he does play tight end at times for this football team in high school in Canton, Mississippi. Alabama with the number 27 player, the running back, Mario Ahmed. Contact seeker, 6'1", 202 pounds, out of Roswell, Georgia. He leads Georgia in rushing yards right now in this senior season. They're halfway through their season. He's already has 1,200 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns, but he also has 600 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns as a receiver right now. And he does play a little bit of linebacker for that football team out there in Roswell, Georgia. But again, Alabama bringing him in, verbal commit over Notre Dame, Clemson, Georgia, and Auburn. The number 28 player, Josh Trewin, my boy from Ohio State, getting up off of him. He's from out of Littleton, Colorado. Colorado has a 2-tier pipeline on him. Thumper, 6 foot, 220 pounds. Sam. Colorado's leading the battle right now with Ohio State and LSU in his top 3. Ohio State does have a Week 10 visit on them, so we're going to see how strong Colorado can go to close this player. But right now, it's still shaky, right? Like, it looks like Colorado has the lead up front, but Deion hasn't been in the building, and a lot of these players are scared off because they think Deion not coaching this year. But he's back, and he'll be in the building. So I think we get this guy, had him on a visit right now. If we can get another visit out of him, You know, before the season is over with, maybe things might go. We try and get a second visit where he can come out and watch a football game. We'll see. He did come to week 7 though, and the big time game. He said he loved the stadium, he loved the atmosphere, he loved Boulder, and he feel like that's somewhere he could settle in and play for the next 3 to 4 years. Number 29, Travate Farrell, 6'1", 172 speedster out of Fairfield, Alabama. Hitter. This guy is a track star. Alabama, Florida, Oregon are in the top 3 right now in the race for this kid.
Yeah, he ran track his sophomore and junior year. Senior year, he settled down and just became a straight football player. He's known to take the jet sweeps to the house in high school, so we'll see if that translates into college.
My thing is this: if you're running a 10-4 and 100, you got blazing speed, right? That translates to about a 4.4, 4.3, and a 40. I mean, the kid is a long strider for him being 6'1". Like, he's a guy, like, as he get past that 40 yards, he gets faster. So I do think he'll come in, and I think this is a kid to play right away. Like, I don't think that, even with Ryan Williams in the building and Mbakwe, I still think Farrell comes in, as long as he stays verbally committed and signs on the dotted line, he comes in and play at least special teams for Alabama right away. Would you agree?
Yeah, he's definitely going to get a shot.
All right, let's go to the running back, number 30, the 6th running back in the nation, number 30 nationally, number 2 in the state of South Carolina, and that's Terrence Kyle Clow. Clemson looks like they ready to lock him in the Alabama battle on Clemson big time. Notre Dame is at 3rd. He does have his top 3 locked out North Carolina and BYU. But this is a running back that knows that, you know, the weight program is going to do a lot for him. I want to give you like that DeAnthony Thomas type feel, but doesn't have the speed of a DeAnthony Thomas. But I think, you know, after a redshirt freshman year, I think this kid will start to make his waves. By the time he's a sophomore or junior, he's on the field. Played a lot of in the box safety, but he got better after going to the 7-on-7 camps, hitter. And when I mean got better, he got better in coverage, which changed his archetype from a box specialist to a cover specialist. At 6'2", 212 pounds, what does that do for the Texas Longhorns?
It gives them a dog.
I think this is the kid that come in and play ASAP. Like, I don't think there's nothing that can hold him back. He has the body to play college football, big-time Power 4 football at that. And right now, in high school right now, he has 8 interceptions right now, 4 fumble recoveries. Like, he's balling. He's a guy that just gets to the football, get around the football, and good things happen out of Azle, Texas University with the verbal commit. And our last 5-star is Dante Garnes, running back, East-West playmaker out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 6'1", 207 pounds. Perfect running back to come into the for the Gainesville fan base to better get. Dante Garnes. Tell me a little bit about him, hitter. You was at one of his games last week. Talk to me about what type of player this kid is.
Yeah, he's the type of running back. If he gets to the edge, he's a problem. He dips his shoulder at the first sign of contact, but he's also able to juke and use his agility to get loose. I comp him with Saquon Barkley.
I was just going to say that because he got the moves to better, you know, some guys is a one cut back speed go. This guy is, again, East-West playmaker. This guy can make shit happen. It doesn't matter if the play breakdown or offensive line miss blocks. He make up for when you're in high school playing football and, you know, everybody are not blue chip players. Like, you got some guys that, you know, going to be working in construction. Some guys going to be doing other things, but they play football in high school. Those guys that can't get the shit done on the field, you need them to get done. He makes up for that with his wiggles, man. I will almost say, I like the Saquon Barkley comp. I like that because he's 207 pounds. But you know who I'm really thinking he played like? Shady McCoy.
Shady, I can see that.
I think he played like Shady McCoy for sure, right? That's our 5-star flex. As you can see, half the 5-stars are still available right now. When you're looking at classes. But hey, let's go to the top classes right now. Ohio State with 18 verbal commits right now. 3 5-stars, 15 4-stars. Why is Ohio State right now?
because they are who everyone think they are. Sometimes you don't need a lot of 5 stars to do what you got to do. You can take a plethora of 4 stars and they can turn into 5 stars.
Yeah, because you know out of 32 5 stars, all 32 of them ain't gonna hit. Right? It's gonna be some busts. It's gonna be some guys that's gonna transfer the fuck up out of there. There's gonna be some guys that's chasing bags and not really honing in on their craft. You get all that type of stuff, right? So I wouldn't ignore any stars, right? But what do you say to these programs that are not blue bloods, the North Carolinas of the world, the Colorados of the world, right? Development is everything, right?
Yeah, and just keep chipping. Never give up the fight. Stay in it. You never know what these commits are looking for. So I would encourage you to just keep at it.
Stay right at it right now, man. Let's get into some season talk right now. That's the 5 star flex with Ant Hits and Hitman Holla. Now we're gonna get into the stats and what's going on around the country right now, man. We got matter of fact, before we get to the stats, let's talk about the teams first. Let's get to the top 25 hitter. I mean, in midway through our first season right now, you got guys that's getting to it right now, right? And when you talk about guys that are getting to it, you got to talk about the top 25 right now. And this year's playoff system is a little different here, right? The Power Four conferences, just because you win the Power Four don't mean you getting in. Just because you win the Power Four don't mean you going to get a first round bye either, right? It's different now. They done made the playoffs a little different right now. So wins and losses is going to matter and strength of schedule. But Texas is 8-0 right now, hitter. Uh, they at Mississippi State right now as we speak. They came off a computer game, but before we get into Texas, we're going to talk about the big games they played this year and who they was able to no diddy knock off on their schedule right now. They opened up with the Ohio State Hitman Holla, and they won a big time close game at Ohio State. And Tata with Arch Manning. First of all, here, talk to me about Arch Manning finally taking over the quarterback position for this Texas Longhorn team. And what do you expect out of this Texas team? Is this a championship team this year?
They're definitely a contender. Arch Manning it was bred to play in the spotlight, and he's the type of quarterback that's relaxed enough and has a little bit of experience to just sit back in the pocket and let the game come to him instead of forcing it.
He played 3 games in 2024 last year due to injury of Quinn Ewers. But I would just say, freshman year, redshirt freshman year, and now as a redshirt sophomore, will be able to take over. The question is going to be, is he going to do what the rest of the Mannings do and stay all 4 years, or is it a one and done situation for Arch Manning? I do think that all depends on what they do in the playoffs. But they did go into Ohio State and win that game 23-13. They took on UCLA, won that game 21-17, 34-24 in a rival against Texas Tech. The next big game they played was Florida at Florida, 38-14. So they're showing they could play on the road as well. And then the big game was at the time Oklahoma, and Oklahoma still ranked number 10, but Texas and Oklahoma, that battle was big time. 28-23 win. They got to pull that out when it came down to user games right now. So my question to you is, looking at the schedule on some of these teams they played, do you think this team is rightfully so at number one, being one of the only undefeated teams in the country?
Yeah, they came in. They started the season off with a big matchup. That's a telltale sign right there. They got over that hump, and then they came in and won 2 more back-to-back conference games.
Mm-hmm.
With Florida and Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry. So I think they're starting off now pretty well. Now, if they don't falter or trip up along the way, they're going to be a problem going into the playoffs.
And they sent a lot of offensive linemen to NFL last year. They lost a lot. They brought in, remember that one year they brought in 2024, 2023, and 2024. They brought in linemen that they was paying $250 in NIL money, and they put a hell of an offensive line together. I think the strength of this football team, they got good weapons, right? They lost a lot, but they still got a lot in the building. The strength of this football team is the up front, offensively and defensively right now. I think they give people hell when it comes down to their front 7 on defense, and they give motherfuckers hell on offense when it comes down to their front 5. They can pound away at you. They can make the big play. They got a quarterback that's not going to do the dumb shit. And as long as Arch is playing in phase, I think this team is going to be hard to beat, as they're showing it as they go through their season right now. Alabama's number 2 right now. They opened up on the road a whole lot. I think their best games are still ahead of them. Let's go to their schedule for a second. And they're, the second team that's undefeated right now. But I like this Alabama team. I will say this: if we're just talking real, they escaped that Georgia game. All right, so they beat Florida State at Florida State 42-35. Right, I watched that game. I saw the pass that won them that game. They threw a bomb, five wides, let that bitch go. He ran under, scored, game over. They come off their bye. They take care of Utah. They play a really good game against Coach Rob in Louisville. Right, 49-42 at Louisville. They were at Georgia. They escaped this game right here. Didn't play it. They escaped it. Vanderbilt, Missouri. They beat Tennessee. Tennessee was losing this game by it was like 29 to like 7. Tennessee came screaming back, took the lead, and then lost the game 36-29 as they're taking on South Carolina as we speak right now. On the road, they're the road warriors this year, right? To be able to beat the South Carolina team, what do you think Alabama got to do to go into South Carolina and Columbus, South Carolina, to win this game?
Stay the course. Watch that wide receiver on the right. Yeah, and just watch out for the quarterback. He's
Sellers.
Sellers, yeah, he's a sneaky kind of running quarterback.
Hmm. And Nick Harbor,
Nick
along with
Harbor,
a couple other receivers they got
Rocket.
out there. Yeah. Well, and they also brought in the transfer from Colorado, the running back Isaiah Auguste, who's a solid back, big back too, 6 foot, 200 plus. I think they got a solid run game too, but Alabama is favorites in this ball game, right? South Carolina has been up and down all year, even though they're still ranked number 19th in the nation at 4-3. They've been up and down, right? They took on that Arizona State team and got dog walked 63-0. Lost big to Oklahoma, and they're looking to get back on track right now. But I don't think Alabama's schedule was done with, right? You go to week 11, they got LSU home, the number 3 team in the nation. Then they got Oklahoma home. Then they're at Notre Dame, and then they finish in the Iron Bowl against Auburn, number 12. This shit's not over with for Alabama. They get through this schedule, boy. Oh my God.
They deserve
You
to be
want to
number
start
one.
talking about them? Yes, sir. They get to that schedule. They deserve to be number 1. You're 100% right. Facts. Facts over facts. The number 3 team in the nation is LSU, and I think LSU would have been top 1 or 2. They had to take a forced loss to Florida Gators because, didn't schedule the game right. Florida was on point of reaching out and all that stuff, and they didn't end up playing the game, so he took a forced loss there. But he hasn't lost the game himself. Um, how about Albert playing the type of football he's playing right now with this LSU Tiger football team right now? They dangerous. It's the fastest team on the game when it comes down to speed. LSU got players with speed everywhere. Running back lane, receiver room. They just loaded with speed and talent right now. They took on USC, beat them 42-3. Had a dogfight in Miami, 28-21. They lost the first loss right here to Florida, but then they beat Notre Dame 33-21. Ole Miss 30-28. Then they took on South Carolina, took them out 63-15. Vanderbilt, and now they're playing Texas A&M. At some point tonight, they'll be playing Texas A&M. I think if they can close that out, they still got Alabama, Arkansas, and Oklahoma left on their schedule. They got a good path to being who they are though right now. Like I like what I'm seeing there as well. Let's continue the top 25. Not gonna go through everybody's schedule, but Arizona State getting it done right now. Here, the Arizona State took Texas to the wire last year in the 2024 playoffs. Seem like they picked up right where they left off at right now. And this team doing a really good job. They do got Levitt at quarterback. They got one of the fastest running backs in the country in Malik Brown. And they got one of the best receivers in the country in Tyson, right? Um, Offensively, I think they can line up and play with anybody. Defensively, I think they got talent in the secondary. And they got guys sprinkled in, but I think they play a really good brand of team football right now. 48-21 over Texas Tech. They're at Houston. They just dog walk Houston. And their next big game is going to be the Colorado game at Boulder in about 3 weeks. It's going to be the ball test right there for both those programs, Colorado and Arizona State. Clemson, number 5, their only loss was to North Carolina. They went into North Carolina and lost a big game. But outside of that, Clemson has been holding course right now, doing the things they need to do. They just beat up on SMU and their new coach, 86-29. Clemson got one of the best football programs and best football teams in the country. They sit at number 5 right now. Are you surprised to see Louisville sitting here at 6 at 6-1 right now? Their only loss was to Alabama. And Rob is getting it done right now. 52-42 over the coach of Miami. And they sitting at number 6 right now with Boston College on the menu.
No, I'm not surprised. We all know where that number one quarterback in the NFL came from. So
Man,
Louisville was bound to bounce back after losing him.
I'm not mad at you at all. Still no word back. Well, nobody got time for that shit. Here we go. They just do it like this. Nobody gonna be chasing nobody, dog. Homie don't want to play. All right, let's get back to the top 25 right now. How about North Carolina? Coach Falk got this North Carolina team undefeated. Their big win was over Clemson. They started off. They beat Michigan. They beat Georgia. They started off with a tough schedule, and they're sitting at 7-0 with a true freshman at quarterback right now. Coach Falk got this North Carolina Tar Heel team. Him and Belichick looking pretty solid right now. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Belichick has shown why he's the GOAT. North Carolina is a sneaky AFC team, and I think they're going to be a problem in the conference championship and the playoffs.
Yeah, I think when you're well coached, man, you can get your team might not be up to par with the rest of the powers of the B, but I just think when you got a good coach, you're gonna coach your ass off. As long as you limit mistakes and do the things you need to do, they can play with anybody. Notre Dame has had one of the most hardest schedules in the country right now. They're 6-2 right now, 42-0 over USC. They beat the Trojans in their rival game right now. Their running back is special. He's up for the Heisman race right now, and Jeremiah Love. And they do a little bit of everything to him. He's leading receivers and damn near receiving touchdowns. He's up there in yardage as a receiver and a runner. He gets it done on the ground as well. This Notre Dame team, they fell to number 8 right now from 7 after blowing out USC, which is kind of weird. But you don't play a game, you got a bye week, things like that happen. Ohio State, 2 losses. They lost to Texas, and one of the realest niggas in the world played the computer and lost, but he played the computer and lost. He didn't do what most motherfuckers be doing. Quit the game, act like shit ain't, or hit me with some fuck shit. He played it, but he's sitting at 5-2, number 9 in the nation right now, moving right back up the board. Just beat up on Wisconsin, 56-37. You know their big game is the rival with Michigan. I think Ohio State is in the mix and going to be a playoff team. And if they're in the playoffs, anything can happen with this team. All right, so Oklahoma, the argument in the chat was Oklahoma didn't play anybody when they was undefeated. And in the chat, and Johnny Manchier, they was doing a little bit of pushing for the Heisman for Johnny Manchier, who's still in the Heisman race. And then they played back-to-back opponents. They took losses to Notre Dame and Texas. But they get right back in the mix after a big-time win over their last opponent, and then they beat South Carolina 43-40 in a dogfight right now. Johnny Minchie and this Oklahoma Sooner football team that really didn't do anything last year. They brought in some transfers and got back to it right now. What do you think their chances are being in the playoffs this year?
Oh, they got a strong chance. SEC is packed full of players, but it's an open conference. Anybody can get hot the last 5 weeks of the season and come into the championship and get a shot at the playoffs.
Colorado sitting at number 11 right now after not being ranked coming into the 2025 season. Colorado 1-point loss to Florida State at home in overtime. Instead of kicking an extra point and going into another overtime, they went for 2 and lost the ball game. But they've been back on track since then, sitting at 7-1 right now. Look, it's going to come down to having to play mistake-free football down the stretch. They got Arizona State on docket, and if they win or lose that game, they still have a chance to be in the Big 12 championship, most likely playing Arizona State again. So For Colorado to be a playoff team, I think they're going to have to go undefeated, even when it comes down to the Big 12 championship. I think they're going to have to win the Big 12 championship and win that regular season game against Arizona State to be a playoff team. We'll see, though. But Deion got this team on track right now with one loss. Auburn sitting at number 12, 5-3. They just took out Missouri 49-38. They are at Arkansas as we speak. That game's going to matter when it comes down to playoff implications, when it comes down to Auburn right now. I don't think Auburn could take another loss and still have a conversation for the playoffs. SMU and Coach Rand, we're going to call him G Nice because we got two Rands in the league. They fall from 5-13, losing their second game. They got blown out by Clemson at 86-29. They just fighting to stay in the mix to be able to try to make it to the ACC championship. Iowa State in the Big 12 is sitting with two losses. How about Navy 6-0 undefeated, and then Gator with the Gators. Gator, not the fan. Gators 4-3 right now. They got Mississippi State. They just beat them 52-36. They're on a bye week right now. They sitting idle. Washington 17. Tennessee, Coach Boone 5-3. Just lost to Alabama 36-29. They are at Kentucky as we speak. They can't afford another loss, too, or their playoff dreams are out the door. And South Carolina is in the fight right now. 43-40 loss to Oklahoma, and they do have number 2 Alabama in the building right as we speak. Oregon is up to number 20 right now after being number 6 in the nation to start the season off, but they're 4-3. They got Wisconsin, Indiana 5-2. Give me attention when I think about it. All right, Nebraska. Coach Shane bringing these boys back. 6-2 right now, 49-28 over Minnesota. They got Northwestern. Georgia has moved back into the rankings at 23. They're 4-3. They beat Ole Miss 59-28. And BYU has fell from 11-24 after losing to Utah 28-18. They are at number 14 ranked Iowa State right now. Big 12 beating up on the Big 12. They're 5-2. And Tulane sneaks their way in the top 25. Hit a playoff implications. You got to be in the top 11 to get there, right? When you look at the top 11 right now, do you think all these guys have a case to be a playoff team?
Oh, without a doubt. But like I said, it's going to come down to the last 5 weeks of the season. You can start off strong and then finish weak. And then in the case of South Carolina last year, they started off weak and ended the season very strong. And barely missed the playoffs.
Gotcha. All right, let's get out of. God damn, man. All right, when you look at our the Heisman race right now, you're looking at Jeremiah Love, number 1 on the list right now. His last performance coming out of that USC game, he goes for 19 carries for 151 yards and a rushing touchdown, but he also kicked in with 108 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown in that ball game. Caden Salter was on a bye week, so he dropped into number 2 right now. John Metier played against South Carolina in a 43-40 win with 23 for 34, 403, 11.9 yards a play, 3 passing touchdowns. He did throw 2 interceptions, and he did have a fumble in that ball game. Richard Young sneaking up on guys. He's leading the nation in rushing yards right now. 23 carries for 82 yards, a rushing touchdown, and 7 catches out the backfield for 30 yards. Isaac Brown, a do-it-all back for Louisville, 15 carries, 214 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns in that ball game. He also kicked in with a 31-yard receiving touchdown. That's your Heisman race, your top 5. We are at week 9 right now, so being at week 9, we're in a situation where you're talking about putting your campaign on for your Heisman race right now. Like, I don't know, being at week 9 and a few weeks left for football, do you think this can change, not the guys on the list? Do you think there's a sneak person that might come up and jump into this list, or do you think it's locked in right now over the first 9 weeks of football, or the 5 that's on here?
You can never tell with the Heisman. Players get hot. Voters change their minds about certain players. It ain't over till it's over.
All right, let's go to stats before we get up out of here and just see what's going on in the stat conversation right now around the nation, plus in the conferences. Looking out of the Power 4 right now. Let's talk about quarterbacks leading the nation in all everything right now, right? When it comes down to quarterbacks, you're looking for who's the top passers in the league right now. How about freshman CJ Carr leading the nation in passing yards right now with 3,126 yards, 33 touchdowns hitter. Notre Dame got them a guy that could throw the football right now. Last year they went to the championship with a running quarterback. Now they got a guy that really can hit receivers and read the defense and make things happen. How much of a benefit is that to this Notre Dame offense?
Oh, it's detrimental to this team to have a good quarterback. Um, as we all know, Notre Dame likes to run the ball, so for them to have a quarterback that can actually throw the ball, that's an addition.
Caden Salter, the dual threat transfer from Liberty, comes to Colorado, and he's sitting second on his list with 3,112 passing yards with 37 touchdown passes right now. 6 interceptions on the season right now. He's actually thrown over his last 3 games. He threw these 6 interceptions. He had one game where he had a 4 turnover game, man. I think as long as he can stay away from turning the ball over and continue to do what he do on the ground and as a quarterback throwing the football, we're gonna have a special quarterback on our hands right now. How about Sam Levitt, one of the better young quarterbacks in the Big 12? He's sitting at third with 3,042 passing yards, 27 touchdowns as well. I think he has the experience of a playoff quarterback right now, so I think that's going to do them a whole bunch. They're 8-0 right now. He got it going for his team. They're playing really good football. Hitter, you know a lot about Julian Sand. He takes over at the quarterback position for the national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. 2,895 yards, 30 touchdowns. You know what type of weapons he get to throw to. What do you expect out of Julian Sand while he's still at Ohio State Buckeye?
You can expect great things. He's a great game manager. And if one of the wide receivers get open, he can definitely hit them downfield.
All right, now you're dealing with DJ Lagway, who rounds off your top five, 2,865 yards and 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions right now. You get Lagway weapons, Lagway going to do some things. Would you agree?
Oh, without a doubt, he's a dog. He's a
Dog,
dog waiting to
right?
get off the leash.
Man. And in my opinion, I think Florida having him at quarterback is going to open up a lot for them in recruiting. They're going to better get to it for sure. All right, man. Let's get to the touchdowns real fast. All right, Caden Salter with 37, Carr 33. How about Keon Russell, the true freshman for Alabama, 2,699 yards, 31 touchdowns as well, saying with 30, Rayola with 30. I would say don't sleep on Rayola. Would you agree, Hitter?
Oh, without a doubt. Rayola Payola.
Mm-hmm. There's another true freshman running around in there, Torrey Newkirk for North Carolina, Belichick and Coach Falk. He got 27 passing touchdowns as well, 2,153 yards passing. Let's get to the running backs and see who's doing the thing right now, man. When it comes down to rushing yards, we got two backs over 1,000 yards, and that's Richard Young, Lehigh Acres, Florida, Alabama with 1,029, and Quintravion Wisner for Texas with 1,002 yards rushing right now. Two SEC guys getting it done. Uh, the next user running back is Star Thomas, and then there's Isaac Brown with 850 when it comes down to rushing attack. Now, as far as touchdowns go, Wisner with 15 rushing touchdowns. How about Relief Brown with 13 touchdowns out of the backfield carrying the ball? Isaac Brown as well. And you're looking at Richard Young, Star Thomas, and James People all got double-digit touchdowns. Cheney for Cleveland looking for users right now. Singleton 11, and Trackhawk to Kaylon Teller for Colorado with 11 as well. Go to the receiving yards right now and the receiver receptions. Who got the most receptions in the nation? Is it a user? Not at all, but Nathan Leacock for North Carolina with 57 catches. And we're looking at yards right now, and it looks like there's only two receivers over 1,000 yards, and that's Jeremiah Smith with 1,200 right now. And then Leacock with 1,018. Mizell from Florida, 947. Mabakwe from Alabama, 914. How about Jordan Tyson, 893. Draylon Miller, 800, 800, 800, 800, 800, 800, 800, Makers, though, 12 for Leacock. Draylon Miller with 12 touchdowns. Mabakwe, Alabama, 11. And Jeremiah Love Now you see why he's leading the Heisman race right now. He got 784 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns, and as a rusher, he's doing this thing as well. Jeremiah Smith, 10 touchdowns, round off your top five with Williams and Evans round off the top five. They all tied with 10. That's your stats. That's your five-star flex. That's what's going on around the country right now. We'll get back to y'all on the second episode. With that being said, we're gone. Hold on for a second, bro.